Good morning, everyone. This is B. Ramarao from Government Polytechnic College, Station Ganpur. Today, topic buffer solutions. Buffer solutions. This topic belongs to first year diploma student, first semester, common subject, general engineering chemistry, common subject code SC104. In this common syllabus, we discuss chapter acids and bases. In the chapter, we discuss topic buffer solutions. What is a buffer solution? Preparation of buffer solutions, applications of buffer solutions, action of buffer solutions. This topic discussed in this hour. Objectives. On the completion of this period, you would be able to know introduction of buffer solutions, definition of buffer solution, types of buffer solutions, action of buffer solutions. In this hour, we discuss about what is a buffer solution, how to prepare a buffer solution, types of buffer solutions, action of buffer solutions. Action of buffer solutions. On the completion of this period, you will be able to know definition of buffer solutions, types of buffer solutions, action of buffer solutions. So now, introduction about buffer solution. Now, what is an acid? What is acid? What is a base? What is an acid? What is a base? What is a buffer solution? What is a buffer solution? What is acid? What is base? What is buffer? What is an acid? What is acid? The substance dissociated in aqueous solution, it produces H plus ions are called acid. The substance dissociated in aqueous solution, it gives H plus ions are called acids. Like acids, HCl, H2SO4, HNO3, CH3COOH, H2C2O4, H2CO3, these all are acids. Like acid HCl, when dissolved in aqueous solution, it gives H plus ions. This hydrochloric acid dissolved in water, it produces H plus ions in aqueous solution. So the nature of HCl is acidic nature, which gives H plus ions. Those ions produce substance is called acid. What is a base? The substance dissociated in aqueous solution, it gives hydroxyl ions, OH minus ions are called a base. The substance which gives hydroxyl ions is called base. The substance dissociated in aqueous solution and gives hydroxyl ions is called base. Like NaOH, KOH, magnesium hydroxide, MgOH taken twice, calcium hydroxide, CaOH taken twice, aluminum hydroxide, AlOH taken thrice, zinc hydroxide, ZnOH taken twice. These all are bases. Acid produce H plus ions. Base produce hydroxyl ions according to Arrhenius theory. HCl acid, hydrochloric acid, H2SO4, sulfuric acid. This compound produce H plus ions in aqueous solution. NaOH, sodium hydroxide. KOH, potassium hydroxide. These compounds dissociated in aqueous solution and produce OH minus ions is called base. The acid pH range in between 0 to 7. The base substance pH in between 7 to 14. What is a pH? The negative logarithm of hydrogen ion concentration is called pH. It measured how many number of H plus ions given solution depends on pH. The acidic compounds pH value less than 7. Basic compounds pH value 7 to 14. Now we discuss our topic buffer solution. What is a buffer solution? The pH value of water is changed by adding small amount of strong acid and strong base. When addition of acid, the pH value decreasing near to 0. The addition of base like NaOH, pH value increasing 7 to 14. But some solutions does not change pH value on adding acid or base are called buffer solutions. In solution pH is constant. Like sodium chloride solution is near to neutral solution. This neutral solution pH value is 7. Sodium chloride. The solution pH is 7. If 1 ml of 0.1 m HCl is added to 1 liter of NaCl solution, the pH decreases to 4. Then addition of HCl to sodium chloride solution, the pH value decreases to 4. If 1 ml of 0.1 m sodium hydroxide is added to 1 liter of sodium chloride solution, the pH increases to 10. That is, pH of a solution decreases by adding strong acid and increases by adding a strong base. It is found that many biochemical reactions takes place at definite pH value. The pH of blood should be maintained of 7.35 for its proper function. In some industrial and laboratory reactions, the pH needs to be maintained constant. Buffer solutions are used in this type of reactions. It maintains constant pH value. What is a buffer? A solution which resists change in its pH value by adding little amount of strong acid or strong base or on dilution is called buffer solution. What is a buffer solution? A solution which resists any change in its pH value. An addition of small amount of strong acid or strong base or on dilution is called buffer solution and the properties is called buffer action. How it is prepared? It is a mixture of two substances. It is prepared mixture of two substances. It maintains constant pH value. This solution prepared by mixture of two substances. Resists the change in pH. It opposes the change in its pH value. It maintains constant pH value. It does not change in its pH value. Of solution is called buffer solution. Addition of strong acid or strong base does not change the pH value. By adding small amount of strong acid or adding small amount of strong base, it maintains constant pH value. Addition of strong acid or strong base does not change the pH value. Solution is called buffer solution. This solution is a mixture of two substances. It resists the change in pH value. Addition of strong acid or strong base does not change the pH of solution. Examples of buffer solution. Buffer solutions. How it is prepared? It is a mixture of two substances. These buffer solutions are two types. One is acidic buffer solution, another one is basic buffer solution. What is acidic buffer? A mixture of weak acid and its salt with strong base to form acidic buffer solution. What is basic buffer solution? A mixture of weak base and its salt with strong acid to form basic buffer solutions. So now buffer solutions example for acidic buffer solution. First one is acetate buffer solution. It is a mixture of weak acid and its salt with strong base to form acidic buffer solution. Like example, acetate buffer solution. CH3COOH and CH3COONA. CH3COOH and CH3COONA. Acetic acid and sodium acetate. This substance mixture is called acidic buffer solution. This pH below 7. So, these acidic buffer solution prepared by using weak acid and its salt of a strong base CH3COOH and CH3COONA. That one is first one, acidic buffer solution. Second one, carbonate buffer solution. This carbonate buffer solution prepared by the mixture of carbonic acid and sodium bicarbonate. Carbonic acid H2CO3 and sodium bicarbonate NaHCO3. These are two types of buffer solutions of acidic buffers. These solutions pH value is less than 6. Phosphate buffer solution. Phosphate buffer solution is prepared phosphoric acid and sodium dihydrogen phosphate. Phosphoric acid and sodium dihydrogen phosphate. Formula H3PO4 and NaH2PO4. Phosphoric acid and sodium dihydrogen phosphate. These all are example of acidic buffer solutions. What is acidic buffer? An acidic buffer is prepared by mixture of weak acid and salt with strong base. Is called acidic buffer. Now, ammonia buffer. Ammonia buffer. This ammonia buffer is basic buffer solution. This basic buffer solution is prepared by mixture of weak base and its salt with a strong acid. Is called basic buffer solution. A buffer solution is prepared by mixture of weak base and its salt with strong acid. This ammonia buffer, like example, ammonium hydroxide and ammonium chloride. NH4OH plus NH4Cl. Second one, ammonium hydroxide and ammonium nitrate. NH4OH plus NH4NO3. This one is types of buffer solutions, some examples. Now, types of buffer. First one is acid buffer. What is acid buffer? Second one is basic buffer. Buffer solution is a mixture of substance This acidic buffer is a mixture of weak acid and its salt of strong base, like acetic acid and sodium acetate, CH3 COH and CH3COONA. Basic buffer. A buffer solution is prepared by a mixture of weak base and its salt with strong acid, ammonium hydroxide and ammonium chloride, NH4OH and NH4Cl. Acidic buffer or acid buffer. It is a mixture of weak acid and its salt of strong base. It is a mixture of weak acid and its salt of strong base. Is called acid buffer solution. The pH is less than 7, acid buffer solution. Like example of acidic buffer, CH3COH plus CH3COONE, acetic acid and sodium acetate. It is a mixture of weak acid and its salt of strong base. This acidic buffer pH value is less than 7. Like example, acetic acid and sodium acetate, CH3COH, CH3COONA. Acetic acid and sodium acetate. Boric acid and sodium borate, H3BO3 plus Na2B4O7. Boric acid and borax and sodium borate. Base buffer solution. What is base buffer solution? It is a mixture of weak base and its salt of strong acid. Base buffer solution. It is a mixture of weak base and its salt of strong acid. This base buffer solution pH is more than 7. More than 7. Like example, ammonium hydroxide and ammonium chloride, NH4OH and NH4Cl. Ammonium hydroxide and ammonium chloride. Another one example, aniline and anilinium chloride, C6H5NH2, C6H5NH3Cl. Aniline and anilinium chloride. These are two types of buffer solution, acidic buffer, basic buffer. Buffer action. Resisting any change in pH of buffer is called buffer action. Resisting any change in pH of buffer is called buffer action. The buffer action of an acidic buffer can explain the following reactions. The resisting any change in pH of buffer is called buffer action. Action of acidic buffer. Acidic buffer solution, acetic acid and sodium acetate. Sodium acetate. Acetic acid and sodium acetate. Acetic acid CH3COOH and CH3COONA. Sodium acetate. Acetic acid CH3COOH. Sodium acetate CH3COONA. Sodium acetate. Acetic acid is weak acid. It is incomplete ionization. This ionization is reversible ionization. This ionization is called equilibrium reactions. This ionization CH3COOH gives CH3COO minus plus H plus. Partial dissociation. And sodium acetate CH3COONA. These salts formed by the action of weak acid and with strong base CH3COONA. It is completely ionization to form CH3CO minus plus Na plus. Sodium acetate. It is complete dissociation. It produces acetate ions and sodium ions. On addition of strong acid. On addition of strong acid. HCl is strong acid. It dissociated H plus ions and Cl minus ions. When addition of strong acid, this strong acid H plus ions interact with acetate ions to form undissociated acetic acid. It does not increases H plus ions in the solution, then pH is constant. pH is constant. How it is constant? The H plus ions from strong acid like HCl combine with acetate ions CH3CO minus ions to form weakly dissociated acetic acid. Hence, the pH of solution does not change. pH is constant. The H plus ions from strong acid like HCl combine with acetate ions to form weakly dissociated acetic acid. Hence, the pH of solution does not change. So, pH is constant. The reaction in between acetate ions and H plus ions of HCl solution then form undissociated acetic acid CH3COO minus plus H plus ions to form CH3COOH. Action of acidic buffer and action of strong base. The OH minus ions from strong base like NaOH combined with acetic acid CH3COH to form straight ions and weakly dissociated H2. Hence, the pH of solution does not change. Strong base are added to the buffer solution. OH minus ions of the base react with acetic acid to form water and straight ions. Hence, pH remains constant. pH is constant. On addition of strong base like NaOH, it is dissociated completely to form Na plus and OH minus ions. These OH minus from NaOH combine with acetic acid CH3COH to form acetate ions and water molecule. Hence, the pH of solution does not change. On addition of strong base, the strong base produce OH minus ions. Thus, ions react with acetic acid to form undissociated water molecule. Hence, the pH does not change. It does not increases hydroxyl ions in this solution, so it maintains constant pH value. Like reaction CH3COOH plus OH minus to form CH3COO minus plus H2. Here, see the reaction of acidic buffer solution. CH3COOH, it is partially ionization to produce acetate ions plus H plus ions. Sodium acetate, it is completely ionization to form Na plus plus CH3COO minus. This one is ions of acidic buffer solution. On addition of strong acid, the strong acid produce H plus ions. These ions react with acetate ions to form undissociated acetic acid. Hence, pH does not change. On addition of base, it produces hydroxyl ions. Those ions react with H plus ions of water molecule to form undissociated water. So these H plus ions produce acetic acid. Those acetic acid H plus ions react with OH minus ions to form undissociated water molecule. Hence, pH is constant. Mechanism of buffer reaction of an acidic buffer. Now, action of base buffer solution. Base buffer solution, ammonium hydroxide and ammonium chloride. Ammonium hydroxide and ammonium chloride. This ammonium hydroxide partial dissociated, it produces ammonium ions and hydroxyl ions. It is weak base, it produces less number of OH minus ions. It is incomplete ionization. This one is partial ionization. It is equilibrium ionization. It produces less number of hydroxyl ions. Ammonium chloride, it is formed weak base react with strong acid to form a salt, ammonium chloride. This salt completely dissociated to produce ammonium ions and chloride ions. On addition of strong acid, the acid produces H plus ions combined with ammonium hydroxide to form weakly dissociated water molecule. Hence, pH does not change. The H plus ions form from strong acid combine with ammonium hydroxide to form weakly dissociated water molecule. Hence, pH does not change. Acid HCl acid added to the base buffer solution. These base buffer solution interact with H plus ions of ammonium hydroxide to form undissociated water molecule, hence pH does not change. See the reaction, ammonium hydroxide plus H plus to form ammonium ions plus H2. Action of base buffer solution. On addition of strong base like NaOH strong base, it produces OH minus ions in the solution. The hydroxyl ions from ammonium sodium hydroxide combine with ammonium ions to form undissociated ammonium hydroxide. Hence, pH does not change. The hydroxyl ions from sodium hydroxide combine with ammonium ions to form weakly dissociated ammonium hydroxide. Hence, does not change pH. Ammonium ions plus OH minus ions to form ammonium hydroxide. Ammonium ions plus OH minus ions to form ammonium hydroxide. See here reaction with base buffer solution. The base buffer solution ammonium hydroxide, the mixture of ammonium chloride. Ammonium hydroxide is a weak base. It is partially dissociated. It produces less number of OH minus ions than ammonium ions plus OH minus ions. Ammonium chloride, it is a salt. It is combined with ammonium hydroxide and strong acid of hydrochloric acid to form ammonium chloride. It is complete ionization to form ammonium ions and chloride ions. Addition of acid. These acid H plus ions combine with OH minus ions to form undissociated water molecule, hence pH is constant. On addition of base, hydroxyl ions combine with ammonium ions to form undissociated ammonium hydroxide. Mechanism of buffer reaction of a base buffer solution. Now, summary. Buffer solution. Buffer solution maintains constant pH by adding small amount of strong acid and strong base. Buffer solution, it maintains constant pH on addition of strong acid or strong base. Buffer solution maintain constant pH value. It is prepared by mixture of two substances. These are two types, acidic buffer and basic buffer. What is a buffer? Buffer solution maintain constant pH by adding small amount of strong acid and strong base. Buffers are two types, acidic buffer and basic buffer. Prevention of change in pH is called buffer action. Prevention of change in pH is called buffer action. What is buffer action? Prevention of change in pH is called buffer action. By adding small amount of strong acid or strong base, pH maintain constant. Solutions are called buffer solutions. Now, quiz. Quiz questions. First one, pH of acidic buffer is, pH of acid buffer is A, options A 7, B 9, C less than 7, D 11. pH of acidic buffer. Options A 7, B 9, C less than 7, D 11. A 7. pH is 7, a neutral solution. B 9. pH is more than 7, base solution. Option D, it is also base solution. Option C, pH less than 7. Below 7, it means 6, 5, 4.8, 4, anyone. So, answer C less than 7. pH of acid buffer is less than 7. Second one, base buffer is a mixture of options A, it is a mixture of base buffer solution. Mixture of A, strong acid and strong base. B, weak base and its salt of strong acid. C, weak base and its salt of weak acid. D, weak acid and its salt of weak base. See once again options. A, strong acid and strong base combine together to form a neutralization reaction. B, weak base and its salt of strong acid. C, weak base and its salt of weak acid. D, weak acid and its salt of weak base. So, this base buffer solution prepared the mixture of weak base and its salt of strong acid. So, here options A, B, C, D. Answer is B. Like base buffer solution, ammonium hydroxide and ammonium chloride. This mixture of buffer solution is called base buffer solution. Its pH more than 7. It maintains constant pH value. Like weak base CH3 NH4OH plus NH4Cl. Like example, weak base and its salt of strong acid, base buffer solution, answer B. Weak base and its salt of strong acid is called base buffer solution. Now, example of acid buffer. Example of acidic buffer. HCl, option A, HCl plus NaOH. B, ammonium hydroxide plus CH3COH. C, CH3COH, CH3CONA. D, ammonium hydroxide and ammonium chloride. What is acidic buffer? It is a mixture of weak acid and its salt of strong base. Here options A. HCl and NaOH both are strong acid and strong base. B. Weak acid, weak base. C. Weak acid and its salt with strong base. D. Weak acid and its salt with strong acid. Now, a stick pepper is a mixture of weak acid and its salt with strong base. Answer C. CH3COH and CH3COONA. Answer C. Frequently asked about these questions. Define buffer solution. Explain different types of buffer with example. What is a buffer action? Explain the action of buffer with example. Thank you once again.